my name is Immersive Films, and today we're going to be continuing the series of tutorials that I have lined up. The first episode is about set design and how to improve it, and there should be a link right up in the top right-hand corner. And this video is going to be about camera movement, zooming in and out, following your characters. That last tutorial was 10 minutes long. I don't plan on making this video as long, but if I have to, it is what it is. But just to get started, we're going to be talking about two things mainly. We're going to be talking about zooming, and we're going to be talking about following your characters. So let's get started. So the first thing, and the most important thing when you're doing like a big zoom like this, is that if you watch it, it picks up speed, kind of like right here. It picks up speed. So it starts off kind of slow, and then it increases speed. So that's kind of like easing in and out, but with your zoom in feature. So with the camera scale, like if you use Stop Motion Studio, or I don't know if it's the same thing for Dragon Frame, but you have that little scale, so you want to control the camera and you want to move it like the same-ish amount for like when you're picking up speed. So just like a little notch forward, and then when you increase speed, you want to get bigger and bigger amounts of zoom out. I hope that makes sense. But so easing in and out for like shots like this, where you want to like emphasize like the big area like of what's going on and just like a really exaggerated zoom out, easing in and out is the way to go. Now for a shot more like this right here, where it's just zooming out with the character, you don't really want to ease in and out. What I did for this shot is that I zoomed out the camera the equal amount of time each time. So like let's say I moved it one, zoomed out one here, and then one here, one here, one here, just until I got to that point where eventually when you're like slowing down the zoom, it's just like easing in and out. For the last shot, it's just started zooming out less and less. And the camera moved a little bit there, but started off at a consistent pace. And the thing with this shot is that this shot right here, you had to start and end the zoom. But for this shot over here, where we're following the character's actions, he was already in the motion of doing an action. So he was already in that action. So so there's no need to pick up speed and then lose speed. He was already at it. So just start at a speed and then slow down for that shot. And really, it's kind of just like picking and choosing and seeing what's right and what looks good for the zooming out part. But this is the next part, which is going to be following the characters, is probably what I get the most questions on. Really is like smooth camera movement, kind of like this shot, but this shot is pretty easy. So yeah, so let's take this shot right here. So the key to my camera movement always is that you need to follow a specific subject. So right here, our subject is Spider-Man. And what is he doing? He is moving down. So he just moves a little bit, so the camera will follow him a little bit. And then as he picks up speed, the camera will pick up speed as well, and he'll slow down, just ease it in and out with him. So as long as you are following a character, nothing else, not nothing else, but following the character is the most important thing to do here, because like your focus is going to be on the character in the first place, so everything else should fall into line. So like this shot, following the character, you want to keep that same arc. There's a video, I don't really remember what it's called, but it's about the arc. It's about following. You got to follow the arc of the character, and it's the same thing with the camera here. You just got to follow that right there. Let's do another example right here. What I did is I have a camera stand. I have like a little Lego built camera stand that I sit my phone on. And what I did here was when Spider-Man was moving up, I just slightly moved my camera, slightly slid my phone, and just took a picture, and that's how you get that. And for this shot, he slams into the bell. So I needed to, to show that the bell has weight and he had weight going into the bell. You're going to want to take a lot, like there's a big gap in between these two frames here. So we increased up that speed, and then boom, he hit that bell and he slowed down really fast. So that like really showed the weight of how much force he was putting into the bell. And then for the continuing shot, he gets back up, zooms in, he gets back up, and then whenever like this big action happens and the character moves a lot, camera like boom, like really fast, dang it, really fast zoom. So it all depends on like the shot and what you're doing. But if they're doing something like this and like the camera like boom, really fast zoom out, just ease in and out when you're zooming, and it's not that difficult. Now let me see if there's like another shot here. This shot, you know, just zoom in a little bit, slow down the zoom, take a couple of frames, or at least one frame where it's just staying still, and then zoom back out. And again, this is a good shot for an example, is that it follows him, and then it slows down just a little bit. You can't, and the thing that I used to struggle with camera movement specifically is that you can't just stop moving the camera. You have to like have at least one frame where something is still moving. Like, yeah, gotta have one frame where it just moves slightly. Like, I don't know if you can tell because it moves so slightly. The camera, it moves just a little bit. So you can't just like, boom, have it stop, because then that just would look really unnatural. But for this shot right here, and a lot of times I actually go handheld, like I hold my phone. And my phone is a iPhone 13 Pro Max. So it's like a decent sized phone. So for this shot here, I had, and you can see in the reflection, you can see my phone and you can see my camera stand. I had two, actually probably like 5 brown bricks stacked on top of each other, and I just moved them out of the way here. I pushed the phone forward, moved these out of the way, and then I think at like this point, probably like this frame right here, I took the phone off the camera stand, and then I held it with my hand and I just moved up with it while using my other hand to take pictures. So that's how I did that. And again, ease in and ease out, slows down. So a lot of times if you do have to go handheld, that is easy, but it takes a little practice to balance the camera. And you have to be sure when you go handheld that you are not going to be, that you don't want to set your camera back to where it was, because going handheld, you have to commit to that shot at least. And yeah, and for this shot, it was interesting in particular because this right here is all digital. Like, there's nothing real here. So if I go through real quick, but for this, I had to imagine what the arc of that symbiote falling was going to be, and then I had to predict it and then draw it to be accurate. So like, there's nothing here in this shot, but then I had to go through and I had to draw the symbiote out to make it look like it was going to follow that arc and the camera was following it. Going to Batman vs Superman here. There's one shot right here. Yeah. So Batman is currently falling through the air. He just got punched by Superman. So, boom. Flies. And it's okay if people go out of focus for just a little bit. But he flies here, which is really tough to mask and edit. But he flies through here. And as soon as he lands, the camera stops moving. So it's whoosh, boom. So it kind of adds weight to his fall. And then he, of course, like he bounces back from when he hits the wall, he slows down. And if you want to have like a moment where like the people aren't fighting, that would be a good way to like have that moment of tension, is to just not move the camera at all. So then you can get a sense of like things are kind of calming down when the camera isn't moving, and kind of get a breath, like a moment to breathe, you know, from the fight. So I would say that's about all that I have with camera movement. So just have a subject. That is the most important thing that I'd say. So yeah, thank you for watching. And there are definitely gonna be some more tutorials. The next one I'm probably gonna do is either digital effects or a fight scene. So those are, either one of those is gonna be next. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I really do hope this helped. And if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. We're getting closer to 1,300 subscribers, which is insane because we just reached 1K. That is awesome that we already have 1.2K. That is fantastic. But thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Really hope this helped. I will see you all, hopefully, next one. Adios.